Alright, pause for a second, because version 6.3 just changed expectations in a way that's easy to misunderstand if you only look at one set of leaks. At first, it looked like Colombina was nerfed while Zibai got buffed. Then more information came out, and suddenly it looked like Colombina was buffed while Zibai got trimmed. Both of those takes are technically correct. They're just talking about different parts of the kit. Once you line everything up properly, the changes actually make sense. Before we get into the details, a quick note. If you're planning ahead for upcoming banners, lootbar.gg works exactly like the in-game top-up system, but at a lower cost. You choose your pack, enter your UID and server, and the Genesis crystals are delivered quickly and safely. New users can get extra discounts, and returning users can still use coupons. You'll find the link in the description. Now, let's talk about Colombina. Yes, her raw damage numbers were reduced. Lunar charged damage was lowered. Lunar bloom damage was reduced. Lunar crystallized damage also took a hit. Depending on which part of the kit you're looking at, the reductions land roughly between 15 and 30%. At C0, that is a real downgrade, especially if you were expecting early preview damage. But here's what changed at the same time. Her range and coverage were significantly increased. Her Ascendant Gleam water ring radius increased from 6 meters to 7 meters. That might sound small, but in real gameplay, that extra meter massively improves consistency. Lunar Bloom used to hit as 5 single target instances. That's gone. It is now true AoE damage with a 3-meter circular radius. Enemy targeting range increased from 9 meters to 11 meters, meaning she locks onto enemies more reliably instead of whiffing attacks. The final AoE radius on her effects is now comparable to Mavuika's Elemental Burst, which is a very high benchmark. Vertical hit detection also improved. Effective hit height went from 4 meters to 6.5 meters, which means flying enemies, uneven terrain, and vertical fights are far less punishing. Her burst was also adjusted. It now applies strong hydro application to all enemies within a 10-meter radius, and the field range increased from 20 meters to 22 meters. That's a clear push toward reaction consistency and future enemy designs. So what happened here? Colombina lost front-loaded damage, but gained range, AoE, uptime, and reliability. And then there's the constellation shift. A lot of team-wide buffs that used to appear earlier were cut down, while C2 was heavily strengthened. Max HP bonuses scale higher. Team-wide lunar reaction damage jumps sharply. At C2 and above, Colombina ends up stronger than earlier test versions. So yes, C0 Colombina is weaker than expected. C2 Colombina is a problem. That design isn't new. We've seen it before. Base kit toned down, constellation power pushed upward. Now let's talk about Zibai, because her changes tell the other half of the story. Earlier leaks showed Zibai getting major buffs, and that part is still true. Her passive damage increased by roughly 50%. Her C2 was completely reworked. Instead of being a boring defense stat bonus, it now grants party-wide lunar crystallized damage, and adds a large defense scaling nuke as a second hit. That second hit went from nice to delete button. However, later adjustments hit her comfort and range. Her enhanced skill range was reduced from 6 meters to 5 meters. The second skill hit radius dropped from 5.5 meters to 4.5 meters. These aren't huge numbers on paper, but in gameplay, they mean tighter positioning and less forgiveness. Zibai didn't lose her identity. She lost ease of use. So now we can connect the dots. Colombina gained coverage and consistency, but lost base damage unless you invest. Zibai gained power and identity, but lost range comfort. This isn't random balancing. Version 6.3 is clearly pushing the game toward a crystallized-focused, positioning-heavy meta. Less brain-off reaction spam. More shield control. More shard management. More timing and placement. That kind of environment favors wide AoE, reliable application, and characters that scale hard with investment. Which explains every change we're seeing. Colombina and Zibai together are extremely strong, especially at higher constellations. Aluga, meanwhile, looks designed for specific enemy types and future mechanics rather than universal use. The pattern is obvious. Base kits are no longer designed to feel complete on their own. Peak performance is locked behind investment. That creates real pressure, especially for free-to-play and low-spending players. So here's the honest takeaway. Colombina at C0 is still playable, but she is not the monster early previews suggested. Zibai may actually be the smarter pull for value and team flexibility. Aluga is situational, not mandatory. And as always, this is based on current information. numbers can still change. If they do, I'll be right back here breaking it down with you. If this helped you make sense of the mixed signals, let me know how you're feeling about Colombina right now. And if you want more clear, no noise breakdowns like this, consider subscribing. Until next time, good luck with your polls, and may your primogems be spent with zero regret.